Congratulations to head coach Darren Trevelyan, 26-3. Third time in school history we'll be going to the Sweet 16, and congratulations to everyone behind her.
Thank you very much. First of all, congratulations to Birmingham Southern. The turnaround that they made in 1 year is pretty remarkable, and I don't know that anybody guarded us quite as well as they have, the way they guarded us tonight. So congratulations to them on an unbelievable season, and obviously Bryant is a very special player. But moreover, I'm just proud of this group that's sitting right here, knowing that we're going on to a Sweet 16.
Let's open up for questions.
I'll start with you, Lauren. I asked for you specifically because I'm pretty certain you had 4 blocks instead of 3. Because one of them was that right there at the end of the third, you get the block and she bombs the 3, and you can feel like, okay, they're alive again. And you also had 8 boards. I mean, this was one of those games where, with Mackenzie having to sit that much, everybody had a little something. Was that what was going on with you there? What were you feeling there in that game?
I just knew that we needed to win, and I mean, we were down on the boards in the first half, and that's what we needed in the second half. And so, I mean, all of us were wanting to grab a rebound, and I just happened to be there and was working to get one. And as far as the blocks go, I haven't really gotten that many before, so I guess that was a lot of luck.
I mean, I saw the one, I'm like, well, that's pretty wild. And I wanted to ask you, before I forget it, the long pass to Madison, how do you see her, the long out-of-bounds pass? I think that kind
So
of
that is a little something that we do, that will remain nameless. But Jordan Ballard looked up at me and said, "Hey, Coach, blank." And at first I was like, I looked at her and went, and then said, "All right, we'll do it." And so that's where that came from. And that was totally her call, 100%.
You said they covered you pretty well defensively. What ended up kind of working on that fourth? It was kind of a slow burn to get that run going, but what kind of eventually broke through to?
What broke through was we started getting stops and getting rebounds, and then from there we were able to get down the floor before that defense could get set. And once we were able to get down the floor before they could get set, I think we started getting in the teeth a little bit. We could start to execute a little bit and kind of get them where they were on their heels.
Kind of a little bit the same as last night, where you guys were kind of battling back. Did it kind of feel as the same type of game to you guys, or was it different because of the opponent, the way they were maybe playing you on the court?
I mean, I'll field it first, and they can go. But some ways similar. But what was different was yesterday we had tremendous energy from the opening tip. We just had some other issues we had to work through. But tonight, it just took a while to kind of get us ignited in terms of energy and everybody being locked in and just doing the things that we do. You kept waiting for that to happen, and then when it did, then you saw a totally different performance.
Anyone else has anything to add?
I thought it was a lot like last night. I felt as soon as we tied it, I was like, we're winning this game. Honestly, that's what went through my mind. Especially when we went up 1 point, I was like, all right, we got this. I had so much confidence in us.
I would like to have known that. You could have shared that with me.
I knew it, Coach.
Actually, when Joe got fouled and went to the free throw line, I turned and looked at Jordan and I said, "This is it," because she put one in and it got us the lead. So we knew.
Again, at any point you could share that stuff. I thought we were closer than that.
Mackenzie, what's going through your head when you're kind of just forced to sit on the bench there with some foul trouble in the third quarter and early in the fourth?
I'm a little frustrated with myself because, yet again, I made poor decisions and put myself on the bench. But I also was just pulling for my team. I knew that we had enough pieces to win this game. And so just doing what I can to get the bench going, get everybody's attitudes right, and focus in on the game. Just do what I can from that side of the floor, because that's just as important as when you're on it. So just contributing in a different way, I think, than what I'm usually.
Coach Mackenzie, obviously I think she scored something like 10 or 8 of her points there in the fourth quarter. Was there just an extent going for her, or is she just able to kind of get open and hit some tough shots?
A little of both. I mean, there were some things we were running specifically to get her the ball, and then there were some moments when things would break down, and then she would just make a big play, make a big shot. But again, you look, last night I think she was 13 of 13 from the free throw line. Tonight she was 12 of 12 from the free throw line. So there are a multitude of ways to score, and I think you saw over these last 2 days she did more of her games from the free throw line.
Madison 1 for 5 at the half, and then the bonfire. What happened? I mean, what lit it?
Honestly, I think it was my teammates just having confidence in me, and they said, "Knock it down." I remember Joe coming right when we came back out after halftime, she was like, we need you to knock down some shots. So I feel like that really gave me the confidence I needed. So.
Joe is a mighty Joe Young. You made a decision. I wanted both you and Mackenzie to speak to this. You had to sit her in just about all the second if it wasn't the whole thing. And there was a point there in the third where you took her. But when she got the third or the fourth, I can't remember, you said leave her.
Yeah.
What was that about?
Yeah, you know, I mean, you don't go to a gunfight and leave the bullets at home. And so I'm not gonna, we're not gonna lose that game and sit back and say, well, what if? I'd rather go out there and see what we can do with all of our pieces on on the court and take our chance. You know, during the year we stick with a pretty hard and fast rule. You get 2 fouls in the first half, you come out. You get that third early in the third, and we take you out. Part of that is supposed to be a lesson learned about egregious fouling. We clearly didn't deliver that very effectively, so then we went with the lesson of just don't commit another crazy foul, and let's hope everything works out.
How are you thinking? Are you thinking to play any differently? I'm thinking it's got to be tough to do that when you go back in there in 4 and you're thinking, wow, just anything cheap. And I think you meant as much mentally just being out there, nothing else. Did you have to pull it back a little bit?
I mean, I have to make it. I was very not smart and aggressive in moments that didn't necessarily need it. So I think a lot of on rebounding, I had to make sure I had good position if I was going to even go for it, because I had the tendency to go over the back, if not like on offense and stuff. So I kind of had to try to make that adjustment, and I don't know. It is hard mentally to play, especially when they're going to look for the charge on me on the offense. So I just try to do a few more like pull-up jumpers instead of taking it all the way before they could get set in their position to take a charge.
And I wanted to ask you, you're the only one that hasn't spoke up yet. I mean, you get down by 10 there before you start reeling it back. When do things settle? When you start to think, hey, we're still in this. As long as you kept it within 10, I'm thinking they can bring it back with a run, but you get over 10, it becomes psychological.
I think the mentality, especially in the fourth quarter, we just kept the determination and trying to just fight, and we've been trying to be the toughest we can be and just continue on and never really let that phase us. And we had people step up and make huge plays. I mean, Matt's hit those threes, and I mean, we're kind of looking just to close that gap and take the lead from there and just keep rolling.
Joanna and Jordan, just their guards seem to be pretty tough to guard, and then them on the defensive end. What kind of broke through in the fourth quarter where you guys were able to kind of take care of the ball a little bit better and get those plays going and get in transition?
Well, all game I was having trouble getting to my right the whole game, and Coach T was like, just go right, you got to do the play, you got to do it. And I was like, I'm trying, I swear. And then at one point in the fourth quarter, I looked over at him and he was like, you got this, I know you do. And it kind of just was like, okay, he has confidence in me, I have confidence in myself now. And after that, it seemed so much easier to like get to the right. But they were really, really good defensively. They were probably the best I've seen from high school and through college all my years. So they knew my weaknesses and went on it, but we still got the W, so.
I think just seeing Jordan just battle through it and that gave me the confidence. But they didn't nearly put as much pressure on me as they did Jordan. But just seeing her saying if she can handle it, then I can handle it.
The flip side of that too is these two were putting incredible pressure on their guards as well. And a lot of the things that they were trying to run and trying to get into, they never could get into their stuff either. I mean, there was a whole lot of that in today's game where it was, you know, here's the set, here's the play, here's the continuity. No, all those things broke down, and then it just turned into, okay, well, who can make a play, who can make a big shot? So as much credit as we're giving them, and deservedly so, these two were all over their guards as well.
How important for them to be on their guards like that, forcing long shot clocks when they have a post player like Brian?
I would say pretty important, to the tune of her 26 points and 14 boards. I mean, you try to keep them backed up as much as you can, so they don't have the angles to enter to the post where she's sitting on the block. And you know, if you can bump them when they're playing more mid post, that's kind of where you want to be. And I do have to say too, all of our post players came in. We played 4 different people, you know, at the 5 spot tonight, and all of them took a turn battling. And, you know, we had to get some of those fouls, you don't love it, but what you realize is she's got to be thinking they're going to hit me again, they're going to hit me again. So, you know, it's part of a grind and a wear and tear effect as well.
For the seniors, what's it like to break through finally and move on to around 16 here?
The best feeling in the world. Probably honestly better than winning the championship here, to be quite honest, because it hasn't been done in so long. And it's just, I mean, all 4 years we've gotten past the first or losing the first, and we've never gotten past the second round. And it's just an unbelievable feeling, honestly. I cried, so
Yeah.
I'm really emotional though.
Coach, I wanted you and Lauren to speak to this, and I hate to belabor the point, but you had, the third block was in the first quarter, and one of them was the fast break block. But beyond that, the two blocks that you got before them were them trying to get to the basket off the drive and maybe dump or something. Was that something pregame you were anticipating or looking at?
I mean, we drill, you know, actually you saw probably more of it yesterday than what you might have noticed today, but we drill guarding people's baseline drive and helping the helper all the time. I mean, we spent 25 minutes working on that at Thursday's practice, and talked about it again Friday's shoot around. So, I mean, that's part of our defensive scheme. The funny thing with Bill is, you know, she has incredible length, and so she's able to get deflections, she's able to contest shots, she's also able to block some shots. And so, you know, if she rotates over, then she's in a position to contest. We're still begging her to take a charge, but if she can block shots and we can go the other way, maybe we can compromise.
Yeah, I think two of the blocks that I got was because I got beat a little bit, and then I but we, like, just like you said, we practice that every day. Is rotations, and knowing how to get there even when we get beat and not breaking down. And lucky for me, I do have a little bit of length, and I just got over there and just put my hand up, and I guess that little bit of room, she thought she had a shot, but I mean, that goes all the credit to practicing that every single day.
Was a lot of it tonight, knowing that a lot of what they wanted to do was just bring the defense and lay it off to, I can never say her name, Eurisha,
yeah.
Was that conscious thought? I mean, that's what they did, I think, yesterday so well, is they just broke their guards down, and when they got in there, just laid it to her.
Well, they wanted to score just as bad as we didn't want them to score. So, I mean, if they're going to try to shoot it, we're going to try to keep it out of the net. So I guess that's a big mentality to have. And so putting your hands up and taking that shot away is something that you got to do.
Any final questions?
I guess how special is it to do this at home?
You know, we've talked a lot about that, and you know, you think about a lot of the things that we've accomplished this season have been done on this court. You know, we talked about Mackenzie getting her 1,500th career point happened on this court. Senior night, how special it was, because we not only were able to honor these great seniors, but to flip, you know, the conference standings, which was crucial in terms of hosting the conference. Then to win your conference tournament here was pretty amazing. Then to be able to play here and win the NCAA tournament on this court's amazing. Finishing off an undefeated season at home, I mean, pretty incredible as well. So, I mean, you've had all these sort of send-offs and moments and all this great stuff. And the other thing, too, that we really haven't talked enough about collectively is this senior class is going to leave here as the winningest senior class in the history of women's basketball, and those wins all happened here down the stretch on this court. So, I mean, so much of the things, so much of what we've done happened right here on this floor for this senior class, and then to be able to have that one more notch to say, oh yeah, and we're going to a Sweet 16 with this bunch is pretty astounding, honestly.
26-3. Congratulations on a fantastic season, and good luck in the Sweet 16.